Hey guys, today's video I want to talk about the North American Defensive Team of the Year cards that were released, as well as some market tips for the Team of the Year specifically, and the playoff predictor cards as the season winds down. I'm No Sleeves 12, let's jump right into it. So guys, like I said, the Defensive Team of the Year for the North Americans did come out this Friday, which kind of sucked because if you opened all your packs on Wednesday for the Team of the Year to try and pull the North American forwards in that offensive team, you got left out as far as the defensive players. So we got 5 new Team of the Year cards. We're going to go in order from lowest to highest, starting with the 95 Shea Weber. Now, this one, if you did pack it in your, in your packs this weekend, or if you did the set where you turned in 22 collectibles, and this is the Defensive Team of the Year card you got, I feel sorry for you, unless maybe you're a Montreal fan, but this is definitely the weakest one. His synergies aren't all that great. I mean, his size as far as a defenseman goes is fantastic, 99 slap shot power, but his slap shot accuracy is still a mess, just like his Christmas card was. It's an 84 overall slap shot accuracy. In March, there's just no reason to have a card like that in your lineup if you can spare it. So if if he's definitely your best card, say you have a free-to-play team or you've been playing for a while, and you haven't spent any money, so your team's a little bit less, overall rating, I would definitely sell this card for the coins and go after someone else. I mean, even the Rasmus Dahlin from last week is still a much better option, and you can get Shea Weber for about 400 to 500k. So the next up would be the 97 Ryan Suter. This kind of falls in the exact same thing. Synergies are meh, shot is meh compared to other Team of the Year cards. That's what I mentioned my prior video about how just because their overall rating is 97, 99, it doesn't mean they're a true 99. The only true 99s are Mario and Gretzky. So slap shot accuracy on Ryan Suter 86, wrist shot accuracy 86, no BU or anything like that. Again, this is the exact same thing. Sure, it's awesome you got a 96 and he's a big body player, but there's no reason to keep him if you pack him when you can sell him for over 500k and buy, for example, Team of the Year Mark Scheifele. So things like that. That's what you want to watch for. Next up, we've got the 97 Jonathan Toews. Now, this was a big card because, well, it's Jonathan Toews, so he's always going to, inherently have more value just because of who he is. But taking a closer look at his stats, he's got face-off master, so his face-offs are over 90, which is good. I've come to notice that there's a lot of all the Team of the Year for centers have really weak face-offs for the most part, other than someone coming up. So, I mean, this is a pretty good one. Mostly, you have to use legends if you want a decent face-off rating. But his shot is, for a 97, decent, all under 93. I personally am not a big fan of Jonathan Toews. I know tons of people are, like, don't be sod, obviously, but he is going for a ton just because of who he is. He's already over 700k. When you look at his shots and his synergies for 700k, I would rather have somebody else. But like I said, if you're struggling on center because all you really have is the free legends, I would understand keeping him. Next up, we've got who I was discussing, the 97 Patrice Bergeron. Now, this would be the card or the specialist card if, say, you have a really high-end team, perfect third-line center. Perfect card if you're on the PK, need to win a draw. 99 face-off rating. Very few cards have that. Fantastic. His, he's got the beauty as far as the synergies go, so a good team synergy. His shooting is the exact same, basically, as Jonathan Toews with 99 skating. He is someone I would much rather have over him, especially with that face-off rating. And then finally, we've got the 99 Ryan O'Reilly. This card, super rare from what I've seen. I think he's having a really hard time being pulled in the set. But all 99, all over 95 shooting, 2 to BU. This is the card to go after if you can. But like I said, so far, I've only seen him on the market for like $1 mil. I wouldn't pay that at all. Wait and see if he drops, but he is super rare, it seems. So that is your North American Defensive Team of the Year. So guys, let's talk about some market tips for Team of the Year. Something I've noticed over the last 2 weeks since the release of them. they always start out expensive, around $1 million, at least for the 99s, and then there's a drastic drop. So, for example, the 97 Mark Scheifele, I actually did pack my first team of the year finally in a pack, and I had to sell him for under $500K already, when prior, then the very day before, he was going for like almost 600. So let's talk about the defensive ones specifically. If you're thinking about doing the set, okay, say maybe you rip a couple packs, you get a couple collectibles, or you think that, hey, I just want to try and get that Ryan O'Reilly. It's going to cost you about $30K a collectible, which is where it's roughly going to stay. It might drop under, to 28 for a little while, but I've found that when it gets low like that, people buy them all up. They don't really let them sit and then let them, because what happens is eventually they get so cheap or cheap enough where the market kind of crashes because of the supply and just everyone takes them. So at $30K, you're looking at $660,000 for 22 for a chance at doing one of the sets. Now, if you're doing the defensive team of the year set, you're only getting one card, so $660K. For a chance at the Suter, the Weber, the Taves, the Bergeron, and the Ryan O'Reilly. I would not do that set at all, and the reason for it is I've seen barely any Ryan O'Reillys get pulled, so that makes me think that his pull rate's even less in that set. And if you pack, if you pull, let's say, Weber or Suter, you've 100% lost coins, maybe even close to 200 by the time you listen to this video if you were to do that set. I would avoid doing the set and stay away from the collectibles. If you do get any collectibles, sell them. Much more valuable to you in the coins. Also, what I'd recommend is you have to be aware that they're going to be removed for a little while. I have no insider knowledge on it. They're going to come back, but I would assume that once all the other team of the years are in packs or had their releases, that they're going to release them all again. So in the meantime, though, you've got McDavid, who's not in packs anymore, going for $1.3 million, just because, again, supply and demand. There's no way to pull new ones, so the only ones that a lot of people just keep McDavid because he's the best, or they think he's the best, and he's a 99, so he's not going to get any better, so they just keep him. So Crosby, for example, I bought for under $1 million. I would recommend anytime that Crosby goes under $1 million, and you might see him dip a little bit less, even under maybe around 950, 900K this week, I would grab him. You're inherently going to make coins no matter what, in my opinion, because once Crosby's out of packs, it's Sidney Crosby. He's going to go for over $1 million once he's out of packs. That's just how it works. But I would be careful with the 99s that aren't the true 99s, and the Evos, remember. If you're looking forward to next week, just give a quick heads up about next week. So it looks like it's going to be either community or, even European team of the year. So let's say it's going to be a European team of the year. It looks like it's going to be the community one. Something's coming on Monday. They released a thing on the game. It looks like log into Hut on Monday after 5 p.m. Eastern time to see what's happening next in team of the year. And it's got a big C. So I'm assuming it's community team of the year. But regardless, if it's going to be European, eventually, I would avoid like the Carlson Evo, for example. So you can get the Carlson Evo for like $500K. I don't think he's going to get the 99. But if he does get Team of the Year, he's going to bump up to at least a 97 or 95, maybe. I would think 97. And then his Evo is going to drop. You're not going to pay $500K for a 97, Erik Karlsson, I don't think. In my opinion, the Evo I'm talking about, because everyone buys all these Evo cards up thinking that they're going to make a huge buck, but then the problem is that they buy them to sell them, so they're all going right back on the market after they've been released, and you're going to see them drop. A good example is Patrick Kane this week. You can get his Evo for around $650 right now, and it'll probably drop before closer to the end of the event. And then going forward. So just watch out for those, especially for the 99s and the Evos. They do drop drastically. But then once they're out of packs, remember, that is when you're going to see big value, because I'll use Dahlin. I used him earlier if you wanted. He was going for like $450. I think I got him before the event was over. And now he's up to like $650, $700. So just something to watch out for, guys. All right, and lastly, let's talk about playoff predictors, specifically for this weekend. So on Monday, they're going to be adjusted again, so March 25th. I'm going to give you my thoughts on who to go after and what it's going to shake out like. I took a big hit on Thursday night. I was not paying attention, and I thought Arizona had locked up the wild card spot for the Friday, not realizing that Colorado had won, and I was looking at total wins, which Arizona has more of, but not regulation or overtime wins, so I got completely mangled on that, so I lost the 98 Boone Jenner and the 98 Galchenyuk for my lineup all in one night, so that was swell. But because they're out, that means new teams are in. let's discuss the outlook for playoff predictors this weekend. So Columbus and Montreal. Montreal is at 85 points. Columbus is at 84. Here's the issue. They're tied in games played, and it looks like they're tied in games played, but Montreal has one more point in hand. Here's the thing. They also have 2 more games this weekend. So Montreal plays Buffalo and Carolina. That Carolina game's huge. Columbus just plays Vancouver. So for Columbus to get back into the wild card by Monday, I'm talking Monday specifically, I don't think that Montreal makes the playoffs. Just a hunch of mine. And so by Monday for the 98s, we're looking at Carolina's pretty much locked that up. They're now 4 points back at Pittsburgh. Carolina does have 2 games this weekend, but I don't think that they're going to be able to pass Pittsburgh, even if they do tie them in games played. Pittsburgh plays Dallas on today, so I don't know. I don't think that Carolina is going to pass Pittsburgh to move into the 93 spot. So your Dougie Hamilton, he's safe again. As far as Montreal and Columbus, Montreal has 2 games and they're a point ahead. It's going to take a lot. I don't like Montreal, but they would have to lose both this weekend. Columbus would have to win because they just have to tie or go into overtime. So I don't know, man. I don't have faith in that. So I would sell your Boone Jenner. I'm selling mine right now. Buy him back later in the year if you want, but he's a very good card. Don't get me wrong, but I would sell Boone Jenner or the Pierre-Luc Dubois. Because I don't think he's going to be the 98, so I would get rid of him. And then the Drouin looks really good. I'd avoid the Kotkaniemi. His shot's just a little weak for the price point, but Drouin looks really good, so I would pick him up if you can. No more than 350K. I've seen a lot for 300, and I've seen in the 2s, actually. So in the West, things got real messy. So there's 3 teams, all in the last wild card spot: Minnesota, Colorado, Arizona. Now, I don't have faith in Minnesota staying in the wild card. I think that Colorado is definitely the best team of the bunch. But just looking at who's playing this weekend, Minnesota has 1 game this weekend. It's today. They're a point up on Colorado and Arizona. So let's say they win that, they'll be at 81. Colorado, they've got 2 games, and Arizona has 2 as well. So, man, 4-point swing. You could win both for Colorado and Arizona. My gut instinct says that Colorado passes Minnesota. They've got a game in hand. They both have game in hands as far as Colorado and Arizona, but I think that Colorado will pass Minnesota. So if you have Galchenyuk, like I did for Arizona, I would sell him. Colorado's playoff predictor cards, like Eric Johnson, I have no interest in. And Minnesota, you've got, Jason Zucker card's pretty good, but I would just avoid, to be honest, guys. I would just not, any Western wildcard spots, it's not worth gambling all your coins on when you can make some back and go after some Team of the Years or Evos. So I would get rid of all of them if you have Minnesota, Colorado, Arizona cards. Unless they're your favorite team, I would honestly just sell them this weekend now before, things shake out. Or even sell them during the game. What I was doing on the earlier in the week is I was just watching games and then selling and buying cards based on how the game was going. So that's just something to watch out for. St. Louis is up 4 points on Dallas, so that looks really safe. Dallas looks to be locked into the wild card. So Esa Lindell, not my favorite choice if you're looking at a 98, but not bad. So there, guys, that is the playoff predictor cards for this weekend. Let me know if this video helped, what your opinions are on Defensive Team of the Year, and thank you for all the subs and whatnot. Just past 8,000, huge milestone for me. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you again next time.